What is up, everybody? Matt Moda here to give you my favorite NBA player prop picks for tomorrow's NBA game. It's game two, Pacers versus Knicks. Absolutely absurd. Game one, nobody would have thought that game would end how it ended. It was just ridiculous. Culminated by the bounce and then overtime, just a bunch of crazy stuff. I'm going to have two official NBA player prop picks for this game tomorrow. Gonna have a couple leans, just kind of talk through some stuff I am looking at as well. But two official plays. To do a recap, things have gone well these last couple playoff games. I cashed out my one play in game one of Wolves and Thunder, and we cashed out our one play for the game last night, depending on when you're watching this. Last night, meaning the Wednesday game between the Pacers and the Knicks. Jaylen Brunson under 2.5 made 3-pointers. That was not every single play goes this way, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm a genius. But that went exactly the way I thought it would go. Now, what I should have done was parlayed his under with his over points, because I said he's going to cook them from inside the arc. And the play that I was most confident on was his under made threes. He made one. He attempted six, which was more honestly than I would hope for, but making one, just a great read there. Glad that I was able to come through. And if you bet the leans, those also hit. The cap points and the Brunson under assists also hit. So it was a really good game one for me. Let's hope we can replicate it. I got one play for tonight. Depending on when you're watching this game's probably already over. But I got Naz Reid over 1.5 made 3-pointers. Let's hope that comes through. Continues a pretty nice run that we are on in the month of May. I've mentioned this in the last couple videos, but I've played these playoffs very light. As you can tell, only, 10, 12 plays or so, 10 in the month of May. We've gotten the majority of those to hit. We're up 5 units in the month of May. Of course, the one play I decided to ladder. Everything lost. That's just how it goes. Prior to that, it was rough. So, I will admit I'm being a little bit selective by showing you the month of May, not showing you the last couple weeks of April, because the beginning of the playoffs was rough. But you look at the entire season, we're getting up to about 30 units of profit, just under that, above 29 units. Our ROI, we did get above the 5% ROI mark. 5.31% isn't amazing, but it's a fine season. When you spend the entire season betting on the NBA, 5% ROI isn't the worst thing in the world. Pretty confident in the two plays that I have. Would appreciate it if you could like the video, comment, and subscribe. Gonna move over here to Props Madness, my favorite NBA tool. I use them for everything. They've been incredibly helpful for me. If you want to check them out, I put a link to them in the description of the video. So play number one, it's this guy right here. I went with Jaylen Brunson, and I took his points. You can get 30-plus points. You can get minus 112 at Bet Rivers. I call that a Mickey Mouse book because they're ridiculous with limits. But DraftKings, who's also ridiculous with limits, but more people use them, you can get at minus 115. I'm good with either of these prices for Jaylen Brunson. Now, normally, when you're looking at a play and he just put up 43 points, it's going to be incredibly square. That game went into overtime. I get it. It's just the nature of the way the Pacers play defense. They're going to man up Jaylen Brunson one-on-one with either Andrew Nembhard or Nesmith, who Nesmith turned into prime Steph Curry last night. Two good defenders. Nobody can really guard Jaylen Brunson one-on-one. Nembhard is just a little too slight. So Jaylen Brunson just puts him in the post and just goes to work on him. And then he's just able to foul these guys. So they're going to throw a bunch of rotations at Jaylen Brunson. But that's the way the Pacers play him. You look at last year's playoffs. It wasn't incredible. But he had some monster games, and then he got hurt in game 7. This game, the Knicks lost by 32, played 31 minutes, was just kind of like almost a scheduled loss. But game 1, 43, and then 44, 31, and then he got hurt in game 7. He wasn't shooting well, only 6 of 17. And then obviously completely different series, but just absolutely cooked the Sixers the last games of that playoff series. Now this year, really good matchup for him against the Pistons, who he cooked. Hit or miss matchup against the Celtics, who he mostly did. 27, 29 points is pretty good. And then 43 in game 1. And you look at that. 25 shots is ridiculous. That's how the Pacers play you. They stick to shooters, so that's why OG didn't have that great of a game. 16 points is fine, but 2 of 8 from deep. Mikal Bridges started off hot, went cold as the game went on, 8 of 16. And Brunson's going to take a million shots. And he scored 43 points going 1 of 6 from 3. So if he has a game where he goes 4 of 6, 5 of 6 from deep, which can happen, it just makes it a lot easier for him to get to that 30 number. The 14 free throws, I'm expecting that to be able to continue game over game. So it's incredibly square, but I'll take the 30 plus points for Jaylen Brunson. Again, the minus 112, minus 115 price, I do think is solid. And, he's a playoff performer. We see this all the time. As long as this game stays close, which I don't see. I mean, I think the Knicks are going to win this one. I don't really think it's going to be like a complete blowout. And even if it is, you've seen what happens when the Knicks are up 15, 14 points with 2 minutes left. You got to keep your guys in. So as long as it doesn't turn into like 30 points or whatever, something ridiculous, we should see Brunson play his normal allotment, 33 to 35 to 37 minutes. The Knicks did go on a run with him on the bench, but he's just the easiest offense that they have. And yeah, it's just the way the Pacers play defense. It's why they get cooked by these number one options, is they don't give up anything on the spot up. They do have decent defenders. They're not as bad as they were last year, but they're going to say, one-on-one, fine. But we're not letting ourselves get beat behind the 3-point line by all these roll, catch, and shoot guys for the Knicks. So I think it's a good matchup for Brunson. I wish I had officially played it. I mean, I went with his under threes, which came through, so it was fine. But I just think that this is going to be a Brunson series, which is not a hot take by any means. And especially the fact that they lost game one. It's not like even if they had won, he was still going to come out motivated in the next game. So I'm not going to say like, oh, we're going to get a motivated Brunson, because that's what we're going to get regardless. But we're going to get somebody that's probably going to put up another 25 shots. I think that is well within the realm of possibility. And can he make 15 if they're close to the basket? Yeah, absolutely. So give me Jaylen Brunson, 30 plus points. The next one that I have is over on the other side. I went with Myles Turner, and I took him over 14.5 points. Now, this was plus 105 at BetMGM. They quickly moved that down to minus 110, which I'm still good with. I'm still good taking it at minus 110, which you can get at a couple books. Now, normally when I am playing, if I have something, like if I have two plays, I normally want them both to be plus money, or I'm going to add a third so I can win two of them and still make money. But I didn't want to force a play just for the sake of having three. So I'm sticking with these two. Now, the thing with Myles Turner is he only scored 14 points in game one. He went under. He took 11 shots. That volume isn't anything for me to say. It's not like normally when I try to target certain guys, it's like, oh, I'm betting on positive regression, right? I'm just betting on the Pacers spamming the pick and roll with Myles Turner and Tyrese Halliburton. When the Pacers came out in the first quarter and were absolutely cooking, that's exactly what they're doing. They're running the pick and roll with Halliburton and Myles Turner, and the pick and pop game just destroys Karl Anthony Towns. Now, eventually, they're going to put in Mitchell Robinson, and things aren't going to be as easy. But the Knicks are a good matchup for pick and roll type of centers, pick and pop type of centers like Myles Turner. Whoever is the man setting the screen has success against the Knicks. You look at the regular season, which is what I want to show you here. The Knicks allowed the second most points per game to the pick and roll man. Now, yeah, they stuck to shooters and they didn't foul a lot, so those play types aren't great. But I'm expecting the pick and pop, the mid range, the above the break three, all that stuff to work pretty well for Myles Turner. And it's been the same way in the playoffs as well. You look at the Knicks in the playoffs, they've been, I mean, this is only looking at like the playoff teams, but of the 16 teams, they've allowed the second most of pick and roll points in the NBA. Of the 16 playoff teams, from the above the break, they've been similarly bad. It's the style of the Knicks defense as well, and that's kind of what we are banking on here. And Turner, for the last 2 years, has been someone that's upped his game in the playoffs. This year, he's averaging 16 points per game in the playoffs. You look at the regular season, that was down to 15.6. So you see he's upped his game in the playoffs. You want to go to last year. He was better in the regular season. He averaged 17 points per game in the regular season. In the playoffs, more closer to his average, but he hit the 15 number in 11 of 17 games. This year, in 11 playoff games, he's hit the number in 7 of 11. Now, he's gone under in 2 straight games. That's kind of another thing that I like to fade. Granted, there's like 6 days, 8, actually over that, 8 days in between games, game 5 of this and game 1 of that. So it's not like he's been bad for 2 straight games, but just kind of showing you he's a type of playoff performer that has upped his game over the last 2 years. And the matchup is perfect for him, again, against the way the Knicks play defense. The pick and roll man has success against the Knicks. So give me Myles Turner over 14.5 points. The head-to-head isn't anything incredible for these two. He hit it in one with 26 points. He missed it in the other, scored 13. Granted, he went 0 of 3 from deep. Last year, I get it, completely different Knicks team, 7 of 10 towards the over, and in the regular season, 2 of 3, and in the playoffs, 5 of 7. So pretty good against them last year. This year, we'll have to see. There's not enough really data. It's 3 games. 2 came close. 1, he smoked it. So hopefully it's one of the ones where he smokes it. I'm expecting a good game for Myles Turner. In terms of leans, I could easily go back to the Brunson under threes. I could easily go back to the Brunson under assists, which I did not officially give out as a play, but I did give it out as a lean. He had 6 potential assists. And again, it's just the way the Pacers play defense. He's not going to be the type of guy that's going to rack up a bunch of assists. And I think he had 2 or 3, maybe 2 in the first quarter. So, or 3 at halftime, I think is what it was. And they bumped it. It was 7.5. Now it went down to 6.5, but you're getting plus money. I think, again, I hate to just go back to the same stuff, and maybe the Pacers play it differently. I'm not expecting that. But the plus 114 I do think is pretty solid. Cat went off for 35 points in game 1. I kind of want to fade him in game 2. 4 of 8 from deep is not incredibly unsustainable. It's just the number going, like, I think it was 21.5 or 22.5. Now it's jumped and we're getting minus money for it. It's a little too rich for my blood. I don't have the stones to actually go with the under, but that's actually where I would lean with Karl-Anthony Towns. And I feel the same way about Aaron Nesmith. He scored 30 points. He went 8 of 9 from 3-point range. 8 of 9. Now, unfortunately, I thought he was going to be way, way overpriced. The books kept him at 12.5. And 12.5 is completely fair. That is a completely fair number. So yeah, if he doesn't go 8 of 9, if he goes 3 of 9, that's still a bad shooting game, but it's a lot scarier when you're asking for someone to go under 12.5. So I really, really wanted to fade him. I didn't quite have the stones. And then TJ McConnell, it's just been a good series for him against the Knicks. You look at the playoffs over the last 2 years against this team, and the points plus assists is good. The PRA is also good. I think the PA is probably the best one, but he just has shown that he performs well against this team in the playoffs. It's 2 years now where he's gone over 10.5. Granted, yeah, I mean, the minus 115 isn't bad. 7 of 8 games last 2 years in the playoffs. We saw it last year. It was once again the case. He had a rough start, played really well over the course of the game. I mean, yeah, he's going to play 14 minutes, but he's going to come in and be incredibly impactful in those 14 minutes. So leans, TJ McConnell over his points plus assists, Nesmith under 12.5 points, Cat under 23.5 points, and Brunson under 6.5 assists. 2 official plays were Myles Turner 15 plus points, Jaylen Brunson 30 plus points. Let's hope we go 2-0, continue this streak that we are on. Let's hope that the leans also come through if you played those, and we just stay having a nice, successful conference finals. I will say last night, I don't count it as part of my record, wins or losses, but I did put out a same-game parlay for this Pacers-Knicks game that hit. The odds were like plus 430-something. I could have gone even higher. I'm going to do that as often as I get a boost. So make sure to follow me on Twitter, which is where I send it out. I also send it out to my Tails account as well. Everything goes out first to my Tails account, just a way to tail. That's what it's called. But that's all we got. So appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe. This will drop. Doesn't help you because you're watching it. Obviously, it already has dropped, but this will drop for tomorrow's game, dropping today on Thursday for Friday's game. Make sure to bet responsibly and have a good one.